Okay, so we're going to continue our discussion of this custom Ajax callback. So you can see now we've put a debug1 statement over there, and in order to just help us quickly find records for Massachusetts, which is what we're going to need, I'm going to just go here and then go to fields and go down to Bill State Region and put a search part on the grid. So here we go, and let's go now and click this button on a record that has fewer than 5 other records in that same state, so New Hampshire. So we'll click on the button, and here opens up the XBasic debugger is now open up for us, and we're inside this function called low-level delete, and you can see here that E got passed in. So if we just go to the watch window in XBasic and type in E, that's going to show us everything that's inside E that got passed in. So one of the things that got passed into E is current row data new, and that's, you can see there, has got all of the data for the current row. So we need to know how many records from this state, New Hampshire, exist in this table. So let's go ahead now, and you can see we've defined a local variable called customer state, and we've set customer state equal to E underbar current row data new dot Bill State Region. So now, there you can see now we've captured current state in that variable. Then we need to get the connection string to our SQL database. Well, one of the things that's passed into E is E.temple, which is the actual grid definition. This is what you see when you go to the XBasic tab of the grid, and one of the properties in E.temple is the connection string. So now you can see we've got the connection string to our database, and then in the next step we've defined a connection object here, so dimcn as SQL : connection. So now this is an AlphaDAO connection object, and here we open the connection, and then we check to see whether that was successful. If flag had been false, that would have meant that we got an error trying to connect to our database, and if that's the case, we need to abort. So we compute a message here that says cannot connect to the database, and because this message is going to be part of a JavaScript alert, we need to make sure that we escape any reserved characters in the JavaScript. So we call the JS escape function, which would convert any single quotes into backslash single quotes. It'll convert CRLFs into backslash n, which is all necessary for JavaScript. But since there was no error, we're going to skip over that code over there. But you can see that if there was an error, then we construct, using XBasic, we construct a JavaScript command. So alert is a JavaScript command, and so JS command would now be a variable that contains a JavaScript command, and then we send that JavaScript command back to the browser. So in XBasic, if you return, if you set the value of a function to some value, so in this case the function that we're executing here is called low-level delete. So by setting low-level delete to JS command, we're in effect returning this string as the return value from our Ajax callback, and this value will now get sent to the browser and will execute on the browser. But again, since there was no error, we've skipped over that command. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video.